Hello everyone, this is Aiko from Texas, and I have another deck to review for you this evening. This is called the Magic of Tarot. It's a 78 card deck. It's commissioned tarot cards and a 64-page illustrated guidebook that goes with it. It is by Liz Dean, and the artwork is by Emma Garner. This is a guidebook that comes with the set, and it's done very nicely. It's got quite a few spreads in it, as you can see, which is really nice. I think a lot of people love to find a variety of spreads in the guidebooks. It goes the Major Arcana, and it's got a picture of the card, and it's got keywords, and then a good write-up for the upright meaning and the reversal meaning, and just kind of a little overview of what you find within each card. The cards are beautifully illustrated. I will tell you a few things that I do not like about the deck, but that is a user preference. I'm not saying anything negative about this particular set of cards, but for me they're a little bit harder since I like to see pictures, and this one tends to be a pip deck. So, but all in all, the guidebook is very well done. The meanings in the cards are quick and easy, and reversals down here. But let's get into the cards now, and I'll show you a little bit more why the particular deck is a little bit hard for me as a reader. It does come in this really nice hard box with the side slide on it, and the box is a very heavy cardboard box, and so they're nicely and easily stored in here, or you can put them into a drawstring bag if you don't like to store things in the box they come in. You'd prefer to put them in those drawstring bags. Okay, let's start off with the Major Arcana cards, and here they are. They are really nicely done. The cardstock is a little bit thinner than some that I have, but it is very nicely done. The backs of the cards are lovely, look like the Tree of Life, and you can see on each card you've got the suits depicted there, the pentacles and the cups, swords, and the wands, and then a heart in the middle. But I love this tree. One thing, they are not reversible. As you can see, the tree can't be in reverse, but you do have the reversal meanings if you don't care about the backs of the cards and what they look like. You can use the book and use the reverse meanings if you like. Okay, so let's take a look at the Major Arcana cards, because they are very nicely illustrated, and so are the court cards, and we'll look at those in just a second. However, the Minor Arcana cards are a pip style, so they're not going to have the beautiful like depictions you see in an RWS deck, and so for me this makes this kind of difficult in reading. I don't typically pick pip decks, so the message that I'm going to give, or the little lesson that I'm going to give along with this tonight, is do your research. If you don't want pip decks and you want to have all of your Minor Arcanas to look more like RWS, and that's why I set this RWS out here for you. If you're wanting to see the Two of Swords looking more like that, or something close to it in the artwork, or the Three of Swords and so forth, and you want to see these pictures that you're typically seeing because you like to read intuitively, or you like to really stick with the RWS guide book for these meanings, you're not going to find that with this, The Magic of Tarot by Liz Dean. You're going to have all of these pip cards, and you're either going to need to know the meaning, or you're going to need to refer to the guidebook. And the guidebook is very well written, so you can do that. Okay, so let's take a look here at the majors, because they're very pretty. There's your full card, which I really think is well done. The artwork is rather simple, but I like that. I tend to love graphic work, and these just fit right in with my style. The Magician, and then you have your High Priestess sitting between the two columns, and you got the crescent moon there, which is on the Rider deck. The Empress, love that card. The Emperor, the Hierophant, the Lovers, the Chariot. Got your dark horse, your light horse, kind of going off in separate directions, but the chariot driver, he has full control of the situation. You have your Justice card. Now, in just taking a look here, sorry about that. Looking at your RWS, typically the 8 card. Let's get to the 8 card. The 8 card is usually Strength. They flip that in this deck. So the Strength card in this deck is going to be the Justice. It's going to be Justice. It's going to be the 11th card here. So they flipped it in the Magic of Tarot for some reason. I don't know what the reasoning is behind that, but that is the case here. So this is typically the Strength card, but that's okay. That's what they did. The Hermit card. I really like this Hermit. The Wheel of Fortune. And now we see the Strength card. So they're switched from where they normally would be placed in the original. The Hanged Man. The Death card is a little odd in this deck because it's got the kind of a dead tree back in the back. And that's in the background, but in the foreground is this Tree of Life, which we know the Death card isn't really signifying death, but we know it means that in order for some things to grow, other things must pass away or die. So the Death card is it's more of a transformation or transition. So that's very nicely done. Temperance, pouring water from one vessel to the other vessel. She's usually standing beside a stream or a river with some flowers or some reeds growing next to it, and she normally has on these wings. So that's very pretty. I like the way the illustrator in this kind of took the idea and went with their style of how they wanted to depict the meaning to the card. I like this Devil card because there's this angel goodness on one side and a little devil on this side, and so she definitely has some temptation going on there, possibly. The Tower card, people are the lightning bolt coming down, the fire within the tower, and the people are falling from the tower. So kind of a tough card to draw in the deck, but it's got some positive warnings and positive things too. The Star card, the Moon card, the Sun card. I always look for sunflowers in the Sun card, and here they are. So typically there's just a little in the Sun card. Where's our Sun card? Here's our Sun card. Sun card. Oops, that's not the Sun card. That's the Moon card. The Sun card usually has the little baby on the horse there, and there's the sunflowers. I think the sun is happier than the sun. I don't know. That's how I see it. And the two little kids there is kind of cute. No horse in this one, but it's still very nicely done. Judgment card is really neat because it really does look very much like the original Judgment card, but I think this is watercolor. It kind of does look like watercolor in a way. I don't know what art medium that the person used there. Not media, but medium. Okay, and then, of course, the World card there at the end. So I really, really love the way that the majors were done. Now, very quickly, because of my time, I want to make this fairly short. These are the court cards, and they did the deck kind of nice because where's the, am I missing one of my page? Knight, page, knight, queen. I'm missing a king. There he is. He got out of order. Okay, so back to showing you. The colors in this deck are like all of the wands are in kind of this yellow color. The cups are in this peachy color. The swords are in this purpley color. And the pips, the minor arcana are done the same way. And then the pentacles are done in this darker gold. So just looking at that. And as I was showing you, the pips are done the same way. So the wands are all in the yellow. You get to the cups and they're all in the peach. The swords are in the kind of purpley or darker pink. And then your pentacles are in the darker gold. So that's kind of a nice thing. So let's flip through the court cards and then we'll be finished. So the page, the knight, the queen. Oh, down here, they won't be so glary. The king. Oops, I went backwards with these, so I'll just do them backwards. The knight, the queen, the king, the queen, the knight, and the page. Get my act together here. Page, the knight, the queen, and the king. And then the page of pentacles, the knight of pentacles, the queen of pentacles, and the king of pentacles. So that's pretty neat. So the court cards and the majors are all beautifully illustrated and lovely artwork. The minors, again, are pip stop. So you may need the guidebook or you may need to pull out your writer deck and to help you along. But this is the guidebook and it is very well written. This is the outside of the box. The Magic of Tarot, and I'm going to end this one right here. I thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed this. This is not a very expensive deck. I think it was about $20 with tax, and I'm not sure where I found it. Might have found this one at Barnes & Noble, or maybe even Half Price Books. I'm not sure, but it's I think it's still readily available out there, and I enjoy having it in my collection, and I hope you will too. My warning to you is if you have trouble reading pip style and you like cards with pictures on them to read more of the details within each card, this might not be the deck that you would particularly want. However, once you get comfortable with pip, it is a lovely one because the other cards are simply beautiful. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you next time.